Alright, so I decided to make another video because, to be honest, I thought I had to fix it because there's a stain that I guess was right here that I didn't know about. But I got the clothes for free. I mean, shoot, even the stuff at thrift stores will have bad, stains and whatnot, and you're paying money for it. So, thanks to those people who donated clothes to me. But I was gonna make a video because I was like, you know what? This like being homeless is pretty hard, and I know that no matter where you are in life, you just need to make humor out of what's going on in your situation. Because at the end of the day, the same people who usually say we don't have any control over what happens in our lives, or we don't always have control, but yet those same people that support the people in authority either are the people in authority that want to control other people. So, isn't that very simple? I don't know. Anyway, this is a pretty good fit. Because another thing that I'm rocking, right, is basically the shoes. And yeah, China, everybody is in on something, man, all the time. So I don't know. I mean, the thing with Trump and all this stuff that's happening, right, is we all know what Trump was in on, right? And I understand, I'm not one to talk about politics, but it's time, so we can discuss it later. Somebody else would be like, yeah, I'm not gonna talk to you about this right now, man. All I know is that I'm kind of busy. I got my own life going on, but we agree to disagree. So I'm gonna get going, man. Good to talk to you. Make sure to get your stuff done. You know, I know I'm gonna make sure to get my stuff done. And the thing is, I have an NFL helmet hat on. It's a helmet because everybody usually has called me retarded, which retarded isn't a bad word. It's not a curse word. And it's funny because I was mentioning people in authorities. You're telling other people to control their own lives while creating a system that basically overts them from taking care of their own lives. It's causing them to avoid. It's like a corrupt coach. They're just all right, let's get it in. Let's get it in, team. Let's get it in. Come on, we gotta win this game. On the side, he's just don't worry. I already paid all the criminals. I made sure I put my debts in. Get it? Because debts rhymes with bets. I also get American debt. Also get it 911, 90011, or 90011 get Los Angeles. I don't know what 90011 is. Also get it, no zeros. 911. So, listen. With AI, okay, everybody's like, we want America destroyed. Well, they don't say it like that, but they're like, we need America destroyed right now. Gotta hurry up. Come on. That's what we want right now. I'm like, alright, I mean, that's what they're saying, that's not what I'm saying. It's so funny because, like, you got somebody in the backdrop and he's like, locker talking, which, I mean, if you kind of think about it, like, that wasn't really smart for him to do in the first place, whether he could have got away with it or not, because it's like, why is somebody basically doing the equivalent of getting you on TikTok, essentially? And what I mean by that, yeah. So basically, like, if you're inside of a bus and you know you have some other people around you, wouldn't you not want to get away with that? But you did. Think about it. Whether he could have got away with it or not, you wouldn't want anybody to know about that, whether it's on like your record or not. I mean, I don't know. I guess Donald Trump's pretty professional. Like, makes good points, which is why, like, I don't really, you know, oppose or support, or just, I guess, am in opposition to, or not in opposition to. And it's kind of like it's kind of like a corrupt coach. It's kind of like a corrupt coach because, like, you're coaching a team and, like, you have, it's also funny because coach, like, when you think of a coach, you're usually not thinking of like an elementary school coach, or you're not thinking about like a high school coach or anything. Most of the time it's like a college coach. You're thinking of a college coach, right? Maybe a high school, okay, right? It's always like in American media. Also get American media. And basically like, it's funny because I'm thinking of Varsity Blues scandal, like, and I don't know how that's spelled or whatever, but if you look up Varsity Blues scandal, also get it, the light right behind me is blue. It's basically this scandal that happened where, like, they had girls, which I'm 100% sure they're like pointing this fact out. They're like, okay, all these students who didn't deserve to get into college in America, forget about any other country right now, just America, right? Forget about China, Israel, Mexico, Australia, or Africa, or anywhere else, right? So basically they pointed out, like, oh, there's an unusually large amount of girls, like, going through college. So you're thinking, like, oh, okay, well, like, girls are just smart, they're capable. But then I kind of thought about it and I was like, hey, when people usually, like, say that people are trying to mansplain, or they're trying to, like, basically patriarch, that would be basically it. You're patriarching
the misogyny rather than the misogyny, in I forget what that word is called, but I guess influencing the patriarchy towards, girls or whatever, right? I was like, hey, I realized something. They don't usually say like, oh, yeah, like, these girls could go to college. They could be a nurse, whatever. They could be a lawyer, doctor, right? And they could have all these jobs. They could even be in the government, right? So like the Secretary of Defense, you would think it would be a man, but in reality, it's just a girl. Or actually the spokesperson for Homeland Security, or like the White House. Spokesperson for the White House, right? Also get uneducated Americans. Like, you would know that like America like discriminates on their own citizens, because like I'm an American, I could hardly even like get the words out and educationally like educate other people in America. So okay, basically, if you think about it, all of these girls wouldn't go into like police work, and if they could, if they were all just huddled up, a whole army of them, right? And they outnumbered maybe one person with or without a weapon, right? They're not just gonna all like, risk their lives and risk their lives for people who aren't of their country or not. You like, even if they're from that country, which makes it even funnier, even more ironic, they wouldn't even do that. So you're probably thinking like, well, why do you hate people from other countries? Like, so what's your problem with helping people from other countries, What if they're good? They're not good. They're not good. America is the biggest hypocrite too, because they're trying to say, especially now I'm basically going against Trump, so really nobody could say nothing to what I'm saying. They're like, oh, well, he's putting all these travel bans and he's deporting all these people, and yeah, we're just mad at him. It's like, well, hold on a second. Why am I in California? I don't get my government money from Social Security that I'm supposed to have with or without a disability, because there are exceptions, okay? There are new rules all the time, right? And even then, everybody tries to treat an autistic person like they're disabled. So not even a person that, I said the word retarded, which like, it's a bit derogatory, but even if you're not disrespecting somebody by saying that, you're pointing out something that is the obvious, and it's just for reference. So you're basically just saying it like it is, but it doesn't matter, because in American history they did in fact call it retardation, and it's in their history. So basically America is like even more paranoid about getting criticized at all. Like, have you ever noticed that there's freedom of speech laws, but nobody protects freedom of speech in America? Think about that. It's the first law. It's essentially the very first law in America. They say like, oh, well, it's our Second Amendment, but if you kind of think about it, is it really the Second Amendment? Well, get it? Because like Second Amendment deals with like, basically weaponry. You're white. Oh my gosh, that was so funny that I like slipped up on and slurred my words. You're white. You're right to have weaponry, not even just bear arms, but just have any kind of weaponry. So you don't even need a firearm. Like that's basically the same thing like being able to speak. It's like if you're able to write something, and if I was stuck like in some country and I want to be like, oh, I need to write something. Hey, this is working a lot better than trying to take people's lives. And I just go ask for help. And if they still want to try to take my life, then basically my entire country is going to back them up. It's not even like that in America anymore. Like, have you ever noticed that like more and more good people are going to jail than the bad people in America? They say these people are getting deported, but if you kind of think about it, like when they're basically attacking people, like, or detaining people, or detaining people. I'm not saying attacking in a very like negative way. I'm saying attacking if you need to defend yourself, right? But I'm saying ICE, okay? So now we're getting into ICE very quickly. Also get it very quickly because nobody wants to like talk about ICE all the time. Like it's already in the news. I also get it. Most of those ICE incidents, like they kind of deserve to happen because people are trying to use like vehicles to hit people. And I don't think it gets any crazier than that, because like to use an entire vehicle to make sure somebody is taken out is a lot worse than you just taking a firearm to them. Like I've been hit with a car, and ironic enough, I mentioned immigration, but this was like a white to non-white, Caucasian to non-Caucasian mom, a soccer mom and her son. So it does not feel good. It does not feel good to get hit by a car. I didn't get hit and I like flung too far, but I was a bit in midair, and luckily I barely broke my fall, but not really. It was like off a bike. I wasn't even on my skateboard. Also get skateboarding, like in most countries, you can't even skateboard. And if you can't let nobody skateboard in your own country and you cannot build a road, you should not be able to even really criticize America ever. I mean, whether we have an over amount of resources or we have an under amount of resources. I also get that's like somebody trying to say that I'm being an American and I'm being like a fascist or something, or I'm being like an R word, or... But I literally have autism. I literally have autism. So if I'm telling you it and like it is, then you should understand and know fully what it really is in America. So, getting back to Donald Trump. Also getting back to Donald Trump. Nobody wants anybody to get back to Donald Trump because they don't support Donald Trump. Or also get it, even if they try to say they don't support Donald Trump, they actually do, but it's kind of like behind the scenes. Also get it behind the scenes, like, you don't have to have a celebrity to, like, you know, I don't know, influence the entire public. Yes, you don't need a celebrity. And what I mean by that is, like, you don't need to be a celebrity. You just say it like it is. And that's why the First Amendment is basically the Second Amendment at the same time. Because, like, Donald Trump, and getting back to, like, you know, have you ever noticed that the good people are actually getting detained more than the bad people? So, basically, like, I'm in California, which is essentially the right side of America, and kind of like down, I guess it's like on the far corner. It is basically the corner of America, but it's not the sharp, pointy corner or the corner that's curved, which is Florida. It's not that, no. So, basically, in California, it's diverse, just like any country. I don't know about these other countries and their protests, other than I could say I'm for immigration, but I'm not for immigration. It's like I used to be not for immigrants, but I realized that there could be some people that are like pretty cool and chill, even if they do a little bit of bad stuff. They're reasonable, maybe a little bit rehabilitated, but I'm not going to support hood culture or like ghetto culture that much, because like I've lived in that kind of lifestyle and it's just not for me. If that's for you, you call your tattoos art and you think being able to carry a gun around makes you like the biggest person in the room, even though the smallest person in the room could have like the same thing and be able to take out any other person. But that's getting into something entirely different. The point is that in America you essentially get detained even if you're just minding your own business. Like, I want to make this very clear, okay? And I know some people will be like, well, mind your business then. Don't talk to anybody. But it's not that simple in America. See, because of the immigration problem, anybody could come into America. They could commit any crime they want. Oh, and by the way, if they're in politics, they could definitely commit any crime they want. Like stalking on the internet, which is like, the reason why I mentioned that as the first thing is because when you have that ability, you basically have any ability. Like, to be able to stalk anybody, even just without the internet, is like America's biggest weapon, right? Especially with foreigners, okay? So that's the first thing. Second thing is that, like, the healthcare system is purposely broken. And I know some people will kind of roll their eyes and they'll be like, oh, big shocker, like, didn't we kind of already know that? But nobody understands, like, to the point when they actually explain it. So with the first one, being able to basically like stalk you with the internet, is like, think about Edward Snowden for a second. So this guy managed to get away, and that was basically it. He was able to get away. And have you ever noticed that, like, besides China or like Russia or any of these bigger world powers that do very bad things to their people, is like America does the exact same thing. So since America gets to do whatever they want and basically gets to weaponize foreign people, basically, like, the people that don't even have to support America, or, I mean, it's not even that they don't support America, it's just America doesn't literally support them. And the thing is whether you like it or not, you cannot mind your own business when you have families of criminals being able to come into your country. Now, I'm not trying to insinuate just Mexico, and I'm not trying to say that because I'm Mexican and I'm just lucky enough to be here and they're not lucky enough to be here. Like, that's not what I'm saying either. I'm also not a hater on the United States, or I'm not somebody that doesn't support America. I do support America, but not the way America wants to be supported. Or, actually, that's a bad way of saying it. I don't support America, but I don't go so far as to enable America. I'm not going to do that. That's also not my job. You see this place right here? This is Santa Monica, right? So, Los Angeles is essentially connected to Santa Monica, but it's just like a very dumb relation. Also, get it? I was literally gonna finish saying a dumb stuff, because like the inside joke, or even like the joke around like this state, California, is that like it's kind of like filled with stupid people, but like California makes damn sure to get all this money. So I mean, how do you think they're gonna get that money? Well, what do you think Donald Trump does? If he knows every celebrity and all he's doing is just real estate, and even if it was something kind of above, I guess you could say conventional real estate, or just smaller real estate and just like homes, real estate that's like, bigger, and commercial real estate, owning buildings, like, how is he going to be able to know all these celebrities, and how is he going to be able to like have a lot of support from anybody, and all of a sudden not anymore? It's because the people that he's met, and the same people that don't support him now, it doesn't matter if they're from Mexico or not, or I don't know, I mean, if they're from Venezuela or not. And also, get it, like, when people think of Trump, they think like basically a war on Mexico, like all the time. A war on Mexico. That's basically what they like think about all the time. It's like their subconscious mind, like the back of their mind, they're just like, this guy. I remember this guy. This guy doesn't like Mexico, and he lives in America. He's really famous. And he's like a leader too. So Donald Trump was obviously on that list, and yeah. And also knew Sean Diddy Combs, which that came out like later, and nobody even really talked about that. I think that was like the weirdest thing, is like, so they mentioned, oh, Trump's with Epstein and all this, but they mentioned Diddy, and like they're kind of like being low-key about it, like as if almost as if like a whole bunch of parents, okay, this is where it gets scary, whole bunch of American parents were staying silent about it, because when the Diddy thing happened, basically Diddy got away with human trafficking. They said that he wasn't guilty, but everybody, even the people that were supporting him, knew that he was, right? They absolutely knew. It's kind of like the O.J. Simpson thing. So like everybody said that O.J. Simpson took out these people. Also, get it, they happen to be African American, so people would automatically be like, oh, you're trying to say it because he's African American. I'm like, absolutely not. Are you kidding me? The first lady that I met, who essentially, if you kind of think about it, was the first foreigner I met, even by like these lands to Hispanics, like I don't know, like idea of it. I'm in America, right? So people are like, oh, well, America was Mexico before it was America. So they're basically saying like, oh, this land ancestrally, this land belongs to us because our people were here, and by generations of corrupt property disputes, then that's from what they're saying, okay? Like these people that think like this. We lost the land that we know belongs to us, and the new arrangements are not of our responsibility, because we are of a new generation and we do not hold the responsibilities of the capability of how our ancestors responded to this corrupt property arrangements. What we went through. And to that point, I'm like, okay. So the first lady that I ever met was an African American lady. So by that logic, that means that this lady came to America, and even if you really want to get into the what is it called? Critical race theory. That's what everybody talks about. They're like, oh, this is like an idea, and it's a structure of all ways of life that we should abide by. Which, there's more things in racial theory, but whatever. And so in racial theory, they're like, the Mexicans would be like, oh, this lady, she's African American, she's non-black, we automatically support her. No, they fucking do not. No, they don't. No, they do. No, they do not. They're lying. They are lying. And I'm not saying that every Mexican is racist. I'm not gonna get. That's not what I'm trying to say at all. I'm just saying that Mexicans are racially hypocritical. So they'll be like, oh, you can't be racist to this person or that person. But they're only saying you can't be racist to this person or that person if it's inconvenient. They will not say that. They will not say anything. They won't imply anything like that. Okay? And I'm Mexican. You see me right here? I'm not Indian or what else have people gotten me mistaken with? I'm not Middle Eastern. I'm not, I don't know, Filipino. Also, get in Mexico, when people think of Latin Hispanics, they automatically, I guess, would it be assimilate? No, that assimilate is when you're trying to integrate into a certain society. But basically, yeah, when you talk about Latin Hispanics, you automatically think of Mexico, but I don't know. Also, get it, Mexicans are actually very cocky people, even though they could be humble. They be pretty damn cocky. So, also get it, cocky America. So they'll be like, oh, sorry. Also, do you identify as Mexican or do you identify as American? And I'm just like, well, this might seem like a popular opinion with the unpopular people, but I identify as American because I happen to be born in America. They're just like, oh my fucking goodness. They're like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, you're basically, they'd be like, oh my goodness, you're basically brainwashed and manipulated into identifying as another race in the disillusion, or it wouldn't be disillusion because then you think things are distorted within your reality. They'd be like, oh, you want to try to you want to accept being brainwashed and manipulated into thinking that being an entirely another race um, is selfishly empowering and will basically like, you know, give you benefits over accepting the identity of your own race. Oh, you want to be manipulated and brainwashed into identifying as another race based on the dilemmas, and rather than being responsible of dealing with those dilemmas, it's like then you're basically blaming it on, you're blaming one person for the entire race's problems, because they're going so far as to disagree with that race to be able to make sure that everybody's taken care of. And you're blaming that person because that one person is trying to find a solution. I also get it. Solution. Like criminals. I don't have my kippah today, but I would imagine if I did have it on, people would be saying all types of stuff. Also, yes, I do happen to be Jewish, Mexican. Also, yes, I really did decide that with a lot of conscious, you know, decision making. Yes, I did convert to Judaism, which is a very, very extensive amount of research and, you know, ability to make those decisions and arrange those decisions. Like, I'm literally shaking right now because I've been through so much being Jewish that I don't think really anybody could really say anything. And most people kind of don't. I'm going to be honest. You know, I'm not going to try to beat around the bush and avoid saying it, but yeah, when I have my kippah on, people don't treat me like I'm anybody else. But I've never seen like an actual Jewish person like go into a place, they have the traditional attire on, and they would like, you know, do something negative to another party. I've never seen that, so I can't say that I've ever really seen that, anything like that. So, which is kind of unfortunate, and it sucks for the lands to Hispanics, especially the Mexicans, because I've seen plenty of times where lands to Hispanics from Venezuela to Mexico, and you could even count the Filipino people too in there. Yes, even Pacific Islander. You want to go there? If you want to go there, everybody's guilty of everything, and so nobody's exempt from this. Even me. I've been a problem too. I'll admit I've messed up here and there, but trying to blame, you know, people, especially for their religion, no matter what they believe in, is just like a very like low-hanging fruit and a low blow. Okay, so even though nobody would really treat me like favorably, you know, when I was especially like, you know, wearing clothes that would be empowering for a Jewish person, I would definitely be treated unfair. So, Donald Trump, I don't want you to say anything on the news. Okay? And you can look at the date of when this video was uploaded. I don't want Trump to be putting out anything on the news about autism, or nothing about, oh, we're combating anti-Semitism in Los Angeles, which Los Angeles is in California. And yeah, Trump's not going to be able to get away with that one. You can look at the date on this video, see when it was uploaded, and then you could just simply search what kind of news was going on with Trump. And then if it has anything to do with autism, then you could see it's probably about what I said on YouTube, even though he doesn't have to address me. Also get it addressing like Israel. Also get it addressing like Mexico, but forget about Mexico for a second. Also get it forgetting about Mexico. Also get it like with me being Mexican, it just gets even more ironic because basically, even though I've said one thing, I could still give people the benefit of the doubt. Even Trump. Also get it, I literally just disrespected the president of America, and they always try to say whether you support America or you don't. You can say whatever you want in America and you won't get retaliated. It's like, no. Even if you're trying to say that, you know, you don't, and you're in America, you're probably only saying that because you want to try to make it evident that, like, it's something that can't occur. It's in law. You can't do that. Even though people break laws all the time in America. So I could keep going on and on and on, but the point of this video was that I wanted to basically address what's going on in America, why Donald Trump is actually letting in more immigrants than he's letting out now. But obviously the news isn't going to talk about this. The news is not going to want to talk about this. They're going to be like, oh. Because information has to be true to a certain amount. Like, no country could really control information like that because it has to be on record somewhere. And even if they could hide it, also get Mexico, the Vatican, even if they could hide it from the far depths of, like, things that cannot even be posted, talked about, whispered about, online or offline, all the way in the Vatican, even if they could hide things well deep into the earth. Also get it, Tesla, like underground, like Los Angeles. Apparently there's like tunnels in Los Angeles, and like they're already constructed, and like nobody could really do anything about it. Like they just say, oh yeah, we just made these tunnels for Tesla, and now they could drive in them. What do you guys think? Nobody's like, well, why weren't we told about this? Nobody even says that. They're just like, look, there's tunnels under Los Angeles. Wow. No wonder why we're having so many earthquakes under Los Angeles. Or even then, like, no wonder why there's get it, because we're always waiting for a big one in Los Angeles. They're going to be like, the scientists are going to see, like, what the result of making, you know, tunnels underground will be like. And, like, they'll realize that the asphalt cannot, like, contain that much, like, you know, loss of mass from under our feet. That could not happen. So they're going to be like, oh, we didn't realize that the asphalt is now going to collapse because we made so many tunnels. Yep. It's crazy. Nobody's like, hey, why weren't we told this? Also get it, like, control of information, or like, you know, smartphones with like no physical memory, like control of information. You think America just automatically supports like all of these places that we already have control over land? Like just any other country that's like in some sort of like property with the US. Like, no. Even like China and Mexico, you really think that Donald Trump isn't going to work with these people, even though he says all the time that, you know, he's deporting them and he's making sure to, you know, make America great and make America safe at the same time? Well, I mean, somebody's going to be very mad that I upload this. Very mad. Very mad. So, oops. So that's my video. Like and subscribe, I guess, if you want to. Also get it, China, box, like and subscribe. Like, social media. China's always in social media. Cred score. Lying about you. Finding out truths about you when you're vulnerable, or you just weren't in a good time, or that people were controlling you, or that you're being manipulated, or that even your family betrayed you, or that even the public was hunting you down, or even that the people in power beyond any other place and country where you resided, the one that you resided was after you. So that got a bit real, dude. That got a little bit real. I was like, dude, I look like an American. Like, listen, if I looked black, I wouldn't care. I would be like, dude, I look like I'm about to be able to make money whether I have a job or not. Get it? Crime. Also get it, I'm Mexican, so like, get it? Mexicans and blacks, they always try to say that they commit the most crimes, but obviously the whites can, like, if they actually do control the country. Also get it, there's nothing wrong with the white country. That's perfectly fine. Also get it, Israel. also get it. Everybody makes fun of Israel, but like, Israel is actually pretty cool. Also get it, like, Mexico. It's not that nobody doesn't like Mexico. It's just that Mexico can kind of do too much. Also get do too much, like the non-black to African American community. Also get it, doing too much, China. Get it, doing too much, China. Oh my gosh, that was way too funny. With all this government stuff and talking about like, social credit score and like control of information and like government corruptions. Like, man, oh my gosh. Also get it, Germany. Also get it, Ireland. Also get it, Australia. Either has an immigration problem or they have like a pedophile problem. Especially Australia. Apparently that's like a hotbed. They literally, I'll never forget this, because forget about like me talking about America for a second, like all the time. Australia was essentially completely obliterated by one civilian lady. Also get it, they always say that like women can't be in like the military or like the police, but also get it, I was talking about like the First Amendment and Second Amendment rights, which is like either having weaponry or being armed, and your right to free speech, either of those rights. And she basically obliterated Australia's entire like government and their country too. She's like, I'm not just going after the government. I'm going after my next door neighbor because they're doing some shady stuff right here. So basically, that's what she did. I was like, dude, this is crazy. You know? And if you kind of think about it, that's like the same thing that I'm doing. Also, get it? From the beginning of this video, I was talking about like my hat and like I look like a corrupt coach. Varsity Blues, the reason why I mentioned Varsity Blues is because it's a scandal where basically these college students, whether they were male, female, or any gender in between, were able to go to college basically because they're in on an entire human trafficking scheme, right? So the girls could either be prostitutes or they could be traffickers, right? The men could honestly be traffickers, and they could be prostitutes too. And then anybody in between, okay? Whether you're some kind of male, some kind of female, some kind of neither and in between, you could be a trafficker and a prostitute. That's it. There's not really an in between. I mean, like, some people can just be the trafficker. Even the girls, like, don't. You have a dyke girl, and like a dyke basically means like a girl that wants to be a guy in the sense of like their ideas and their mannerisms, but they won't go to the extent well until like, you know, they reach a certain point. It's like just doesn't even matter if it's some kind of person in between, some trans girl or trans woman, or if you just call them trans, whatever. Okay, like anybody could be a trafficker. Even a woman. Woman could traffic kids. Woman could traffic her own husband. Woman could traffic 100 gay guys. No limits in America. Okay, they can't get away with it in any other country like Asia or the Middle East, then that's on them. In America, also get it, like, I don't want to get into this, but they're saying that Trump was in on like some kind of weird stuff with other politicians, and usually a lot of people say that, oh, well, if you're any kind of world leader from any country, then you might be doing something weird on the side because you literally wanted that kind of job for that amount of power to be able to do whatever you want morally in your own personal life to get away with it. Essentially, to put it simply, it's like nobody really has to do that. Like, literally just work a regular 9-to-5 job, and if you just want to do that sort of thing and you want to live that lifestyle, then you can. Also, get it, lifestyle, Epstein, Diddy. Dude, the thing that I want to finish off with this video, other than, of course, like, talking about these sort of things that Donald Trump actually does get away with, but nobody's willing to say anything about it. And like, think about people besides me and besides like strangers or even people within the government. Just very quickly, forget about all those other people, okay? Especially the people within the government. If one country says, oh, all these other countries do something bad to their own families, or their family does something bad to them, oh, but in our country nothing like that ever happens. Oh, and then the parents are just like, hey, they're supporting what we're doing, so we get to do whatever we want. Do you think that's gonna make good parents? The government is not gonna make good parents. And also get it, even if they do make good parents, they're gonna make them good for something. Get it, Epstein? Also get it, Donald Trump. Also get it, America. So, very, very, very easy point. Okay? Donald Trump and America were in the biggest trafficking scheme, and that's it. Along with the rest of the world, that's it. Just in case anybody else was interested in America, if any other country was interested in America, that's it. I wanted to leave it at America, but since everybody else wanted to get into it, that's it. That would be something that a corrupt coach would say. Corrupt coach. I got that United States of America corrupt coach fit on. In America, I'm just like, come on, Trump, we gotta also get it. And Trump, we gotta traffic some of these girls. Hey, so the Latinas are gonna say that they're gonna Marilyn Monroe it, and they're gonna talk about all of our stuff. We gotta get them out of here. Also, get it, Marilyn Monroe. Apparently, like, especially because the United States, even though it's like well documented, the United States doesn't want you to talk about this. And this is a truth that's in plain sight as much as it's hidden because they're not talking about it. Marilyn Monroe had an affair with John F. Kennedy, right? It was like well documented. Now, when people think of an affair in America, everybody says something about Bill Clinton, right? But have you ever noticed that with Bill Clinton had this lady basically working with him. I was gonna say with him, right? Get it? With her, like Bill Clinton, he was like in a blue dress. I mean, like, I think most people are shocked, but like, I'm kind of not really that shocked because I'll go to college and some guys will literally just for like all the laughter, all the cracking up they could do is they just like dress as like girls. So I just think that's funny that like they kind of thought it was a big shocker. But like all those guys that go to college, even if like they're on like a sports team or whatever, they're just like, dude, we did the same thing. This president was like with everything, man. So basically, yeah. If a president was with a girl like Marilyn Monroe, and Marilyn Monroe was apparently just an actor, but now they're talking about Harvey Weinstein and all these things that happen to American actors and actresses. Think about what could happen all the way back in the day. I also get it, a woman trafficked. I also get it, John F. Kennedy taken out. Also get it, Charlie Kirk taken out too, just for speaking. Also get it, just like me, just speaking. So, yeah. Dude, this is like a movie's worth. Like about beyond a movie's worth of like stuff that goes on in America. And you can live a simple life. You don't have to know anybody. You don't have to have any money. Just like anywhere else. So nobody has to be jealous of me. They could do it themselves, I guess. Doesn't even have to believe in aliens or believe in, you know, I don't know, that life has meaning. Or be able to believe that technology can't evolve. Or being able to believe that there's a God. Even without that, you could just literally try to live as good enough of a life wherever you are. Hopefully. I don't know. Does that seem reasonable? I mean, I don't know if it does. It seems like whenever you criticize America, they want to basically like make sure that you're never able to benefit again. So like, what else is there to do, you know? You think I'm just going to like, you think I'm just going to sit at home and be like, you know, I'm just gonna watch sports today. I'm just gonna go play a sport. I'm trafficking all these girls, trafficking all these guys, trafficking all these people that are identifying as other people. I'm gonna play some sports. Gonna go play some sports now. Also get American. They'd be like, yeah, this guy's acting really American right now. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna go play some sports. I'm gonna go watch a basketball game. I'm gonna go watch a basketball game. I'm gonna go watch a basketball game. Bill Clinton dressing like, come on now, we gotta go. Create more controversy. Just take the picture. We'll be able to use it later. Distracted propaganda. It has no meaning. We just wanted to put him in a dress for shock value. There was no hidden agenda. Also get it? I was talking about control of information. I was like, dude, that's way too funny. So, I think the last thing I'm really going to say before I end this video is that Los Angeles sucks. Their police suck. America sucks. Most of all these other countries suck too. The whole world sucks. And if you say that I suck, at least I know that I suck. I'm homeless because I can hardly work with people whether they're stupid or not. Whether they're from another country or not. I don't really know where to go from here. Also, get a corrupt coach, like they're good enough to like maybe win a reward and like, you know, some earnings, and be able to reward, you know, themselves. And somebody that they're trafficking. And even their own family who they could traffic too. Be like, alright, I need you to get in this. I need you to get in this truck, hurry up! Hurry up! Sally passed Timmy. That's what I'm talking about! This is American be like, that's what I'm fucking talking about! Oh my goodness, dude, this is so funny. So funny. That's what happens when you find out too much. So, also get it. Most people will be like, dude, this guy's talking about everybody. They just needed to make it illegal to stop speaking. I'm just like, is that a threat? Is that a threat? Say that one more time. Is that a threat? Is that a threat? Say that one more time. Say that one more. So, I think that's it. Somebody's going to be mad about this in the morning. To my family, I really don't care about your lives. You don't care about my life. That's why I'm homeless. To my country, all you guys suck. Doesn't matter if you're a nice person and you ever done anything for me. Ultimately, you decide to be complicit in this trafficking scheme. I really don't have anybody that supports me, by the way. I've had people be super nice to me. They seem like they're going to treat me good, and then immediately they either like mess up my food, they're rude to me when I like check out at a retail establishment. I've had really government officials basically treat me like trash in America. Yes. Basically people in courts. Yes. I've had a judge, a federal judge. Okay. And they can't say, oh, see, this is what America gets away with too, real quick before I let everybody go, is that they try to label things, right? And they try to say that they're law. But in reality, it's just all one law, and it's basically the government that does things in a very smart way to be able to control their own citizens, right? But not control them for good, or not control them for the benefit of everybody else, for themselves. And to make sure that people are brainwashed, right? So this guy is like a judge for like mental health services, and like that's how healthcare could basically ruin your entire life in America. So with that being said, yeah, I've actually been treated by the government like trash, because that guy is part of the government and he works for the government. There's no other, just like a post office person, right? Just like a post office person, a post office and a mail boy or a mail girl. Okay. Also get it, male boy, male girl, like gender, and like, you know, the LGBT community, or like get it, the gay to non-gay and lesbian community, trafficking. Also get it, like, you know, Pizzagate, but like Epstein and Diddy, but like I really don't want to go there more beyond that, because then that goes a little bit too far. And like, I've actually been a person where I was never biased towards like gay people, and I didn't mind them, and I actually didn't like mind their company. But then eventually, like, I learned the truth, and like there's a truth that nobody really speaks about because it's just so messed up. It's like really messed up. I also get it, Epstein. Like, if you don't want me to say anything about like bad about gays or lesbians, as soon as you give people a hint and just be like Epstein, that's when people are like, okay, I think now we get it. That's why there's two parents. I also get it, like, it's kind of messed up to the people that actually don't do anything to their kids. Also get it, straight families could do something to their kids too, like traffic. Also get it, controlled opposition. People don't hate Donald Trump because he's ever been racist or because he's ever been sexist. They just hate Donald Trump because at one point or another, they may or may not have worked with him. If you think about it, Donald Trump's only mission, besides, you know, being the president, or being a real estate person before he became president, okay, or anything else, okay. The only mission was to basically be able to know anybody and control anybody. That's it. Why do you think that he was in a show called Celebrity Apprentice, I think it was, right? It was something like that. It was just a show about whether you would be hired or not. Or whether you would continue doing various jobs. What is that show called? What is this? Oh, wow. Okay. I don't know about that one. So I don't know about that one either.